Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Europa Universalis for our Portugal campaign, the Million Ducat Challenge with Portugal. The year is 1587 and we're doing quite good. We're making 77 ducats of trade. It hasn't increased much, but I think we're about to make a good step. We got some claims here, we want to conquer some land, but before we do that, we want to consolidate the power of our colonial nation in Mexico, and we might do some other stuff in South and North America. I mean, look at this. We can have some nations here. The Louisiana region. We should be quick though if we want to be there. That might be something that we're gonna do to start a colony here to sneak our way between Spain. It's not really necessary to have all the colonial nations, but it's nice. They transfer trade power and they provide tariffs, which can be quite a lot in the end. I mean, the Caribbean pay the biggest portion of tariffs, but still. If this can increase 3 or 4 times, that's actually a quite big sum of money. We're not making too much, but we are paying a lot for reinforcements. We squashed some rebels in Mombasa and over here in Majapahit. We won that, and now we're ferrying our troops back to Mexico. It's actually quite a hassle to ship the troops around, so I think we got some force limit available. Yeah, we probably should check to make a dedicated American army and a dedicated Indonesia army, maybe something like that, if our force limit gets big enough. And we need to make a second transport fleet. I think I got 20 transports, well, a little bit more, but I got 5 of them which are mothballed. But I probably should increase this fleet size to 20 so I can ship my troops around a lot more quickly. But that's not what it's all about. I wanted to start an episode here because we can pick the final ID of the trade IDs, which will give us another merchant. So then we have 13 merchants, which is fairly decent. And it will increase our caravan power, which doesn't do a whole lot for us. We got a decision to make. We can become a Plutocratic Administration. Now, I could wait, or I could boost my stability, but that's actually fairly expensive. I think it's, and after that I'd have to boost my stability up once to 0. I think it's actually cheaper to boost it twice to 0 than it is to boost it now and boost it once. So I think we're gonna click the button. Yeah, I think that's the thing that we're gonna do. Local unrest minus 0.5. That's actually fairly strong. These extra tax modifier, that's not really helping us that much. I mean, we're all doing it for the trade. Look at this. For every ducat that we make from trade, normally it turns into 2 point something ducats. You can see here without the where can we see that? Can see it here. Normally, if we wouldn't have any modifier, we would make 36 ducats, but because of our massive trade modifier, we're making so much more. I think we are the guys who make the most from trade. For some reason, the Lubeck node is declining rapidly. He was competing with me for the highest value trade node in the world, but for some reason, it has dwindled down from 44 to 25 trade power, which is actually fairly good, and we are only getting stronger. But I'm rambling on way too much. I made a note to myself, I shouldn't ramble that much. I shouldn't do it. I should make my things nice and easy. But yeah, it's difficult. I'm trying. I'm gonna try from now on. Alright, we're gonna click this button. We're gonna adopt the Plutocratic Administration. Is there anything that we should take care of? I don't think so. We are at 20 stated provinces. That's something I should mention. I made a state here, and I made these provinces state. And that's mainly, well, for the reason that I can have prosperity in these regions, which is fairly good, which boosts the production. and especially in the spice provinces, that's good. But the other reason is the sailors. As you can see, I am at 0 sailors, and I am having a lot of difficulty keeping up my sailor count, because we are actually using more sailors than we're gaining each month. Plus, the Maghrebi nations are raiding my coasts here for sailors, so that's too bad. So that's why we're gonna use these provinces to get sailors. We got sailors from them even when they were in a trade company, but it was far less than it's now. The sailor efficiency would be at something like 5 to 10%, and now it's actually at a decent number. So that might help. Maybe, just maybe, we will go for maritime IDs at some point. I'm not sure if there is a good synergy with, with expansion, naval force limit plus 33. That's a good synergy. Because we do not just want provincial trade power. I think the most trade power in the end game will come from our fleet. So we need ways to get a big fleet, and I think maritime IDs is the best way to gain a fleet. Plus 50% national sailors modifier, that's actually fairly good. And I think, naval force limit plus 50%, plus 33 in combination with expansion IDs. I think that's definitely something that we want. 83 naval force limit modifier, that's actually really good. But I'm rambling again. I'm sorry for that. This introduction is going to take a little bit longer. We're going to click the button. We're at -2 stability, but we can boost stability. The problem is we are at 50 Republican tradition, but we got a bunch of military power. Do I want to spend it all? Yes, Grand Consul, and we get next election. I don't know how this is a thing, but I think he thinks we're at the start of the game, but I assume this will change at the end of the month, or we might have elections at the end of the month. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait with boosting stability. We're at -2. I probably should have waited until I had 100 points from the Pope, but that would have taken way too long. Let's see, can we boost it? What does it cost? 215 again. So it is actually... well, it costs the same. We could boost twice. But I think we're gonna wait until the religious unity goes up a little bit. And I think we can afford to wait. We don't really have any rebellions. Yeah, we get some Bruneian separatists, which might become a problem now that we have lowered stability. We have low stability, but we might be able to transport these guys over. The transports are here. The transports are planning to bring these troops to Mexico, but before we do that, I think we'll let the troops stay here, and we're gonna bring these guys over here somewhere. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. All right, I'm gonna play a little bit around with my new merchants. I got a new merchant which I got to place, and I will be back once there are some interesting updates. Also, we can almost embrace the printing press. That's why I get a lot of money, and I'm saving money because I want to embrace the printing press, and then we can pump out some military tech. I think we're not too far behind on tech, right? Yeah, on military we're a little bit behind, but not too bad. Alright, I'm gonna play a little bit more, and I will keep you posted with interesting updates. We finally saved enough money to embrace the printing press institution only 10 years before global trade spawns. So it was about time. We got a bunch of military power, so we should be able to get at least 2 military techs. And there we go. We're back on time on military tech. We're a little bit behind on Diplo, but that will be fine. I think, let me see. Got new guys here. And new cavalry. Did we have? We do not have new cannons. There we go. Got some new units, new tech. That's definitely gonna help us against these guys here. The troops are almost there, and with the 20k troops we should easily beat them with tech 15 against tech 10. That should be a piece of cake. Troops have arrived in America, so it's time to declare the war. We're gonna declare the war for this little province. We're gonna straight to war. BEZ has a maximum force limit of 12, if I recall correctly, so this should be easy. We should keep in mind that we occupy as much provinces as fast as possible, because he's at war with some other guys as well, so we want to make sure that we can get a decent chunk of land out of it. But it's not too bad, because we can go to war with these other guys anyway, so I think we probably should start to build spy networks on these guys, because we need the spy networks before we can go to war. We sieged down everything that we could, and we're gonna take 4 provinces. It's not that much, but I think a lot of these provinces will get taken over by the other countries, and we will be able to get them from the other guys. So there we go. Mexico, not Brazilian. Mexico grew quite a bit. Oh, he still existed. The other guys immediately pieced out after I did, which is rather unfortunate, because I kind of wanted to get this gold province for my colonial nation, but I think we will swoop around and after finish with Quiche in the end. So we're gonna do a little blitzkrieg here. We're gonna conquer everything, and then we have a nice big colonial nation here. Not quite sure about colonial nations in the other regions here. Well, there's one region, colonial, and we want to grow colonial Mexico all the way over here, so we can also send trade from the Rio Grande to Mexico and then to the Caribbean, or to the Mississippi and then the Caribbean. And we want to have some in the Mississippi, but that's also colonial Louisiana and colonial Eastern America, which can be beneficial for us. We don't want to bother with Chesapeake and Ohio, because that trade goes to the Channel, and we don't care about the Channel. We want to send it to the Caribbean, and from the Caribbean to Sevilla. But it's also nice to have the colonial nations for the extra merchant, the force limit, and the naval force limit, especially the naval force limit, with all the maritime ideas that we're planning. We want to have a big navy to send the trade all around the world, well, at least from all around the world to Sevilla. So I think building some colonial nations here is not too bad. That's definitely something that we want to do. We can easily get one in colonial Eastern America by, for instance, colonizing this province next to these guys, and then conquer these 2 or these 3 provinces, and then conquering the other Native Americans. So we're probably gonna go on a bit of a military campaign. I'm not sure whether I will post all the results of all the wars, because that's gonna be quite a lot. But we'll see. I'm also at war with England, by the way, and Savoy. The Papal State decided to attack, but the Papal State is, well, we should have the overwhelming advantage here. So maybe I will help out the Papal State a little bit, because currently we're losing. They are occupying a little bit of land here, which isn't that big of a deal, because I don't think they will give it with a peace deal, give it away. But we might ferry a 20k stack over to Great Britain or something like that to occupy a bunch of land. See if we can help them out. I'm gonna continue playing a little bit, and I will be back with another update shortly. Our colonist is back from South Africa, so I think that's a really good start to get the colony going here. We want to have some more colonial nations, because currently we're starting to get beaten by Castile. Castile has a big chunk of land here. I don't really want to colonize here, because the Pope says all the land belongs to Spain. And that's my mistake I made in the early game. I should have gone for all the colonial regions instead of focusing on one. Then we would have had a little bit easier time, and we would have had more colonial nations. But We don't, but we're gonna get at least 2 more. One here in this region and one in this region, right? There are 2 regions, right? Yes, one in colonial Louisiana, which can send all the trade to the Caribbean, and one will probably just function as a colonial nation for the merchant, because most of this area is for Chesapeake and, well, a little bit of the Caribbean. So it's rather unfortunate that France has a bit of this. We probably should have gone for that earlier in the game, so that we control a little bit more in the Caribbean. All right, I'm going to continue this, and hopefully this video isn't going to take too long. But I will be back with the final update next time. Our first peace deal in the native war, which we started, we're gonna conquer these lands, is the Cherokee. We're gonna get a bunch of money and they're gonna pay war reps. The Sioux will get the same treatment. And finally Caddo will pay a bit of money and some war reps. Our last peace deal is with Wichita. They're gonna give us 3 provinces, hopefully together with 1 more colony. That will be enough for a colonial nation. Unfortunately, Castile kind of blocked me off here with this with colonizing this province. So Castile is starting to get a nice colonial nation here as well. But we get 3 provinces here. We're not gonna bother with coring. This colony is doing quite well, and next time we will probably attack these guys. We're gonna build a spy network, attack them, and get these 2 provinces as well. As the same goes for the Creek. I think we're gonna go on a bit of a conquering spree here. But I think I will do it the same. I will just show the peace deal with each individual nation, so you can at least see what's going on. That's it for now. We're a bit down on trade income. As you can see, we're only collecting 50 ducats. That is mainly due to the fact that our navy is not protecting here. We get kicked out of it by the English navy, but I think, yeah, England is almost out of ships, so we probably can afford to protect trade again in Sevilla. That will bring up our trade power again. Plus, we're not transferring as much as we were due to the fact that we lost a bunch of trade power here. Although it's been occupied by Savoy, and yeah, Savoy is steering the trade anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But this will go up again next session, hopefully, once someone pieces out. I don't want a separate peace, because then I will lose trust with my colonial nations. With Spain, I'm in a war with Spain. I might even unrival Spain and get a different rival, because I figured that I don't really need Sevilla, although it is such a sweet, good province. Especially now that I don't have the estates anymore, so I cannot give important centers of trade to, for instance, the burghers and stuff like that. Yeah, this is the port to the new world. I mean, 140 trade power. That's really, really tempting to get. I'm gonna try to figure out a way to get it at some point, because Spain is strong, but I want that port. We'll see how we do it. France is not so strong, so France might not be able to help me in this one, but who knows? Maybe I can ally England and Spain, or something do something with Austria. I'm not sure. I want that province. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed so far. I'm gonna try a couple of new things next episode. I'm gonna figure out ways to make it a little bit better, hopefully. I hope you enjoyed it so far. Please let me know, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.